Hi, I'm Jim Ikram, Theater Faculty and Artistic Director at Clackamas Community College. On behalf of the whole department, I want to welcome you to our third Zoom stage performance. We normally focus on Shakespeare in winter here at the college, so we've put together this mashup of some of Shakespeare's most famous scenes for you, and we're calling it Shakespeare Stew. What does that mean? Well, I'll let our very talented ensemble of student actors describe it for you. Remember, if you're unable to watch the whole program today, or if you want to come back with family and friends, you can always catch us on our link on our Facebook page or on YouTube. I want to give a very special thanks to our production team this term. Faculty member Chris Whitten, Administrative Assistant Jennifer Jett, Costumer Gina Piva, and I guess I'll call him our technical wizard, Dante Ross. They put together some real magic for you today. So, sit back, grab your favorite beverage and a snack, and enjoy the Bardi Bunch in Shakespeare Stew.
Here's the story of a lovely lady who was bringing up three very lovely girls. All of them had hair of gold, like their mother, the youngest one in curls. It's the story of a man named Brady who was busy.
Wait. Stop the music.
We're not the Brady Bunch.
We're the Bardi Bunch.
And we're here to serve you up a little Shakespeare stew.
That's the way we became the Bardi Bunch.
Oh.
Huh?
Wait, what is a Shakespeare stew?
Oh, I know this one. It's yeah. What was it again?
Well, when I auditioned, the poster said it was a mashup of Shakespeare.
Heard mashup, and I brought my own gravy. Anybody want some?
My friends, the answer is quite simple. It's a concoction of various scenes from the plays of William Shakespeare.
So, what are we going to put in it?
Well, it is a stew.
Is there a Shakespeare play with a stew in it?
Oh, I know. Macbeth.
Hey! What is wrong with you? It's bad luck to say the name of that play. You know that.
Oops, sorry guys. My bad. I meant the Scottish play.
That's better.
Yes, Shakespeare's brilliant play about murderous ambition.
Ah, yes, murderous ambition. That's a good way of putting it.
Truman, you're muted.
Well, what does a stew have to do with it?
Well, in the play, Macbeth is promised by three witches that he's going to be king.
Right. And he becomes king after he kills the previous king and his friend Banquo. And once he's king, Macbeth is afraid that someone is going to come and try to steal the throne away from him. So in Act 4, Scene 1, he returns to the Weird Sisters to seek their guidance and look into the future.
Well, what does a stew have to do with it?
Well, in that scene, the witches are brewing a sort of stew that can summon spirits who can see the future.
Oh, dibs on playing Macbeth.
I want to play a witch.
Oh, same here.
Oh, me too.
Wait, but can a guy play a witch?
Sure. In Shakespeare's day, men played women all the time.
I think we're going to get letters about this.
Oh, please. What are they going to do? Cancel us?
Wait,
Touché.
but who can I play?
Same here.
You'll see.
The brinded cat hath mewed.
Thrice and once the hedge pig whined.
Our ears cries. 'Tis time, 'tis time. Round about the cauldron go, in the poison entrails throw. Toad within a cold stone, days and nights has 31. Sweltered venom sleeping got, boil thy first in the charmed pot. Double
Double toil
toil
and
and
trouble.
trouble. Fire, burn, and cauldron
bubble. Fillet of a fenny snake in the cauldron boil and bake. Eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog. Adder's fork and blindworm's sting, lizard's leg and howlet's wing. For a charm of powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. Double,
boil and trouble.
fire,
Burn,
burn,
cauldron
bubble.
Scale of dragon, tooth of wolf, witch's mummy, maul and gulf of the raven's salt sea shark, root of hemlock digged in the dark. Liver of blaspheming Jew, galling goats and slips of you, slivered in the moon's eclipse, nose of Turk and Tartar's lips. Fingered bird, strangled babe, ditch delivered by drab. Make the gruel thick and slab. Add thereto a tiger's chandron for the ingredients for our cauldron. Double,
Fire, burn, and cauldron, bubble. Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
Oh, now, you secret black midnight hags, what is't you do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess. Howe'er you come to know it, answer me. Though you untie the winds and let them fight against the churches, though the yeasty waves confound and swallow navigation up, though the bladed corn be lodged in trees blown down, though the castles topple on their warders' heads, though the palaces and pyramids do slope their heads to their foundations, though the treasure of nature's germs tumble all together, even till destruction sicken, answer me to what I ask you.
Speak.
Demand.
We'll answer.
Say if thou rather hear from our mouths or from our masters.
Call him. Let me see him.
Or in sow's blood that had eaten her 9 pharaoh, grease that sweating from the murderer's gibbet, throw into the flame.
From high or low, thyself and office, deftly go.
Tell me, thou great and unknown power.
He knows thy thought. Hear his speech, but say thou not.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. Beware Macduff. Beware the Thane of Fife. Dismiss me enough.
Whate'er thou art, for thy good caution thanks, for thou hast harped my fear all right. But one word more.
He shall not be commanded. Here's another, more potent than the first.
Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth!
Had I 3 ears, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man, for none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee? And yet, I'll make assurance double sure, and take a bond of fate, thou shalt not live, that I may tell pale-hearted fear it lies, and sleep in spite of thunder. What is this that rises like the issue of a king, and wears upon his baby brow the rounded top of sovereignty?
Listen and speak not to it.
Be lion-mettled proud, and take no care who chafes, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be, until great Birnam Wood, to high Dunsinane Hill, shall come against him.
That will never be, for who can impress the forest? Bid the wood unfix his earthbound roots. Sweet Bodman's good, rebellious dead. Rise never till the Birnam Wood rise, and our high-placed Macbeth shall live his lease of nature, pay his breath to time and mortal custom. And yet my heart throbs to know one thing. Tell me, if thou art can tell so much, shall Banquo's issue ever reign in this kingdom?
Seek to know no
more.
I will be satisfied! Deny me this, and an eternal curse fall upon you! Let me know.
Show.
Show.
Show. Show his eyes and grieve his heart.
Come like shadows, so depart.
Thou art true like the spirit of Banquo. Down! Thy crown to sear mine eyeballs. Thy hair, thou of a gold-bound brow, is like the first. A third is like the former. Filthy hags! Why do you show me this? A fourth? Stark eyes. What? Will the line stretch out to the crack of doom? Another yet? A seventh? I'll see no more. And yet an eighth appears that bears a glass that shows me many more. Some I see that twofold balls and treble scepters carry. Horrible sight! Now I see 'tis true. The blood-filtered Banquo smiles upon me, points at them for his. What? Is this so?
Aye, all this is so. But why stands Macbeth thus amazingly? Come, sisters, cheer up his sprites, and show the best of our delights. I'll charm the air to give a sound, while you perform your antics round. At this great king may kindly say, our duties did his welcome pay.
Where are they? Gone? Let this finisher's hour stand I accursed in the calendar.
Ian?
What is the matter with you?
Gross.
What? It's just mashed potatoes with the gravy I brought.
Ugh.
So, what happens to Macbeth?
Were the witches right?
Well, sort of.
They were telling half-truths.
Yeah, technically Macduff, who kills Macbeth, wasn't born a woman, but by a C-section.
So that's why I was a bloody child.
And Macduff's army, that they cut down the Burnham Wood to sneak up on Macbeth's castle to overthrow him and cut off his head.
Oh, so that's why I had a tree branch.
Can we put something less bloody in our stew?
We could do a comedy. How about Twelfth Night?
Yeah, the scene where Viola is sent to woo Olivia.
Oh, and isn't Malvolio in that scene?
Yes, he is. In fact, you would be perfect as Malvolio, Truman.
Wait. Is Viola a man or a woman? She's all disguised and wooing, and what's going on here? I'm confused.
Okay, so for context, back in Shakespeare's day, women were not allowed to be on the stage. So men would play all of the roles, including the women's. So when this play originally was being performed, it would be a man playing Viola, playing a man.
Okay. But why is she disguised as a man?
Well, she was in a shipwreck with her twin brother, who she thinks is now dead. Spoiler alert, he's not. And so she decides to disguise herself as a man so that she doesn't get taken advantage of as a woman by herself. So she disguises herself as Cesario and goes to work for the Duke Orsino, who she eventually falls in love with.
And Orsino, who's in love with Olivia, sends Viola as Cesario to try to convince Olivia to marry him.
Okay. I think I'm going to sit this one out if that's all right with everybody.
Sure. And since, that little rule doesn't apply today, I'm going to play Viola.
Dibs on Olivia.
I've already casted Truman as Malvolio, so I'm sitting this one out too.
Who can I play?
You'll see.
Madam, yon young fellow swears he will speak with you. I told him you were sick. He takes on him to understand so much and therefore comes to speak with you. I told him you were asleep. He seems to have a foreknowledge of that too, and therefore comes to speak with you. What is it to be said to him, lady? He's fortified against any denial.
Tell him he shall not speak with me.
Has been told so, and he says he'll stand at your door like a sheriff's post, and to be the supporter to a bench, but he'll speak with you.
What kind of man is he?
Why, a mankind.
What manner of man?
A very ill manner. He'll speak with you. Will you or no?
What personage in years is he?
Not yet old enough for a man, nor young enough for a boy, as a squash is before 'tis a peas cod or a codling when 'tis almost an apple. 'Tis with him in standing waters between boy and man. He is very well favored, and he speaks very shrewishly. One would think his mother's milk was scarce out of him.
Let him approach. Call him a gentlewoman.
Gentlewoman, my lady calls.
Give me my veil. Come, throw it over my face. We'll once more hear Asina's embassy.
The Honorable Lady of the House, which is she?
Speak to me. I shall answer for her. You will.
A most radiant, exquisite, and unmatchable beauty. I pray you, tell me if this be the lady of the house, for I never saw her. I would be loath to cast away my speech, for besides that it is excellently well penned, I have taken great pains to con it. Good beauties, let me sustain no scorn. I am very comfortable, even to the least sinister usage.
Whence came you, sir?
I can say little more than I have studied, and that question is out of my parts. Good gentle one, give me modest assurance if you be the lady of the house, that I may proceed in my speech.
Are you a comedian?
No, my profound heart. And yet by the very fangs of malice, I swear I am not that I act. Are you the lady of the house?
I do not usurp myself. I am.
Most certain, if you are she, you do usurp yourself. For what is yours to bestow is not yours to reserve. But this is from my commission. I will on with my speech in your praise, and then show you the heart of my message.
Come to what is important in it. I forgive you the praise.
Alas! I took great pains to study it, and 'tis poetical.
It's more like to be feigned. I pray you, keep it in. I heard you were saucy at my gates, and allowed your approach rather to wonder at you than to hear you. If you be not mad, be gone. If you have reason, be brief. 'Tis not time moon with me to make one so skip in a dialogue.
Will you hoist sail, sir? Here lies your way.
No, good swabber. I'm to hull here a little longer. Some mollification for your giant, sweet lady.
Tell me your mind.
I am a messenger.
Oh, sure he has some hideous matter to deliver when the courtesy to speak of it is so fearful. Speak your office.
It alone concerns your ear. I bring no overture of war, no taxation of homage. I hold the olive in my hand. My words are as full of peace as matter.
Yet you began rudely. What are you? What would you?
The rudeness that hath appeared in me have I learned from my entertainment. What I am and what I would are as secret as maidenhead. To your ears, divinity. To any others, profanation.
Give us this place alone. We shall hear this divinity. Now, sir, what is your text?
Most sweet lady.
A comfortable doctorate, and much may be said of it. Where lies your text?
In Orsino's bosom.
His bosom? In what chapter of his bosom?
Oh, to answer by the method in the first of his heart.
Oh, I have read it. 'Tis heresy. Have you no more to say?
Good madam, let me see your face.
Have you any commission from your lord to negotiate with my face? You are now out of your text. We will draw the curtain and show you the picture. Look you, sir, such a one as is present. 'Tis not well done.
Excellently done, if God did all.
Oh, 'tis ingrained, sir. 'Twill endure wind and weather.
'Tis beauty truly blent, whose red and white nature's sweet and cunning hand hath laid on. Lady, you are the cruelest she alive, if you will lead these graces to the grave and leave the world no copy.
Oh, I would not be so hard-hearted. I will give out divers schedules of my beauty. It shall be inventoried and every particle and utensil labeled to my will, such as item, 2 lips indifferent red, item, 2 gray eyes with lids to them, item, 1 neck, 1 chin, and so forth. Will you send hither to praise me?
I see what you are. You are too proud. But if you are the devil, you are fair. My lord and master loves you. Oh, such a love could be but recompensed, though you were crowned the nonpareil of beauty.
How does he love me?
With adorations, fertile tears, with groans that thunder love, with sighs of fire.
Your lord does know my mind. I cannot love him. Yet I suppose him virtuous, know him noble, of great estate, of fresh and stainless youth, in voices well divulged, free, learned, and valiant, and in dimensions in the shape of nature, a gracious person. Yet I cannot love him. He might have took his answer long ago.
If I did love you in my master's flame, with such a suffering, such a deadly life, in your denial I would find no sense. I would not understand it.
Why? What would you?
Make me a willow cabin at your gate, and call upon my soul within the house. Write loyal cantons of condemned love, and sing them loud, even in the dead of night. hallow your name to the reverberate hills, and make the babbling gossip of the air cry out, Olivia! Oh, you should not rest between the elements of air and earth, but you should pity me.
You might do much. What is your parentage?
Above my fortunes, yet my state is well. I am a gentleman.
Get you to your lord. I cannot love him. Let him send no more, unless perchance you come to me again and tell me how he takes it. I thank you for your pains. Fare you well. Spend this for me.
I am no feed post lady. Keep your purse. My master, not myself, lacks recompense. Love make his heart a flint that you should love, and let your fervor, like my master's, be placed in contempt. Farewell, fair cruelty.
What is your parentage? Above my fortune and my state as well. I am a gentleman. How be sworn thou art. Thy tongue, thy face, limbs, action, and spirit do give thee fivefold blazon. Not too fast. Soft. Soft. Unless the master were a man. How now? He was so cool that no one catch the plague. Methinks I feel this youth's perfection with an invisible and subtle stealth to creep in that mind's eye. Well, let it be. What ho, Marbolia?
Here, madam, at your service.
Run over that peevish messenger, the countess man. He left this ring behind him, would I or not. Tell him all none of it. Desire him not to flatter with his lord, nor hold him up with hopes. I am not for him. If that the youth will come this way again tomorrow, I'll give him reason for it. Hie thee, Marbolia.
Madam, I will.
I know not what and fear to find. My eyes too great a flattery for my mind. Fate, show thy force. Ourselves we do not owe, but what is decreed must be. And be this so.
Were not you even now with the Countess Olivia?
Even now, sir. On a moderate pace, I have since arrived but hither.
She returns this ring to you, sir. You might have saved me my pains to have taken it away yourself. She adds, moreover, that you should put your lord into a desperate assurance. She will have none of him, and one thing more, that you be never so hardy to come to his affairs, unless it be to report your lord's taking of this. Receive it so.
She took the ring of me. I'll none of it.
Come, sir, you peevishly threw it to her, and her will is, it should be so returned. If it be worth stooping for, there it lies in your eye. If not, be it his that finds it.
I left no ring with her. What means this lady? Fortune forbid my outside have not charmed her. She did make good view of me. Indeed, so much so that methought her eyes had lost her tongue, for she did speak in starts distractedly. She loves me sure. The cunning of her passion invites me in this churlish messenger. None of my lord's ring. Why, he sent her none. I am the man. If it were so, as 'tis, poor lady, she were better love a dream. Disguise. I see thou art a wickedness wherein the pregnant enemy does much. How easy is it for the proper false in women's waxen hearts to set their forms? Alas, our frailty is the cause, not we. For such as we are made of, such we be. How will this fadge? My master loves her dearly, and I, poor monster, as fond as much on him, and she, mistaken, seems to dote on me. What will come of this? As I am man, my state is desperate for my master's love. As I am woman, now alas the day, what thriftless sighs shall poor Olivia breathe? Oh, time, thou must untangle this, not I. It is too hard a knot for me to untie.
So, what does she mean when she says, "How will this fadge"?
Well, we don't use the phrase a whole lot today, but it meant in those days, like, how will this work out?
Well, that's exactly what it meant.
Truman, you're muted again.
Yeah, how will this fadge?
Well, like I said before, Viola's twin brother, Sebastian, didn't die in the shipwreck. He ended up in the same town as Viola without knowing it. And Sebastian ends up marrying Olivia because she thinks that he's Cesario. And Viola ends up marrying Orsino.
So, did they all live a happily ever after?
Everyone but Malvolio.
What happens to Malvolio?
You'll see.
This Shakespeare's all Greek to me.
Hey, that's a line from Julius Caesar.
Ah, yes, that play has some of the most quotable lines from the world of Shakespeare.
Let's put that to us too.
Yeah.
Doesn't Caesar get murdered?
Yeah.
Dude, don't you think we're putting too much blood in our stew?
Nah, Caesar's the only one who actually gets murdered in this play. Everybody else just died by their own hand.
And to be perfectly clear, we're not going to do the scene where Caesar actually gets murdered.
Why not take a stab at it?
No, but we could do the scene that happens after it. Act 3, Scene 2, the public address.
What happens in that scene?
In that scene, Brutus and Mark Antony give their famous speeches to persuade the common folk onto each of their sides.
Hey, Joe, you seem to know a lot about this play. You should totally play Brutus.
Sounds good to me.
Hey, I've always wanted to play Mark Antony. I'll do that.
Wait, isn't Mark Antony a man?
Yeah, what's your point?
We just saw a scene where a man would play a woman. So why can't a woman play a man now?
That's a sharp new take on it.
Wait, what part can I play?
Well, you could play a plebeian.
What's a plebeian?
You'll see.
Oh.
Give me for my cause, that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your senses, that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus's love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more. Had you rather Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead to live all free men? As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice at it. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply.
None, Brutus.
Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol, his glory not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offenses enforced, for which he suffered death. Here comes his body, mourned by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that, as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to need my death.
Live,
Brutus,
live! Bring him with triumph home unto his house.
Give him a statue with his ancestors.
Let him be Caesar.
His better part shall be crowned in Brutus.
My countrymen,
Peace! Silence! Brutus speaks.
Peace, ho!
good countrymen, let me depart alone, and for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, grace his speech, tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone, till Antony have spoke.
Stay, ho, and let us hear Mark Antony.
Let him go up.
We'll hear him.
Noble Antony, go up.
For Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you.
What does he say of Brutus?
It says for Brutus' sake, he find us beholding to us all.
Twill Bessie speak no harm of Brutus here.
This Caesar was a tyrant.
Nay, that is certain. We are blessed that Rome is rid of him.
Peace! Let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle Romans.
Peace, ho! Let us hear Mark Antony.
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you that Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, 'twere a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honorable man, as are they all honorable men, come I to speak at Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept? Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honorable man. You all did see that on the Lubercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honorable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? O judgment, thou art fled to brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin there with Caesar, and I must pause till it come back to me.
Methinks there is much reason in his sayings.
If thou consider rightly of the matter, Caesar has had great wrong.
As he masters, I fear there will be a worse come in his place.
Mark you his words? He would not take the crown, therefore 'tis certain he was not ambitious.
If it be found so, some will dear abide it.
Poor soul, his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
There's not a nobler man in Rome than Antony.
Now mark him, he begins again to speak.
O masters, were I disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will. Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not mean to read. And they should go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Yea, beg a hair of him from memory, and dying, mention it in their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
Read the will. We'll hear it, Mark Antony.
The will!
Have patience, gentle friends. I do not mean to read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved you. 'Tis good you know not you are his heirs, for if you should, oh, what should come of it?
Read the will.
You shall read us the will.
Caesar's will.
You
You shall read us the will.
Will you be patient?
Caesar's will.
And will you stay a while? I have o'ershot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it.
Honorable men, they were traitors.
The will, the testament.
They were villains. Murderers. The will. Read the will.
You will compel me then to read the will? Shall I descend? And will you give me leave?
Come down.
Descend.
You shall have leave.
If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this mantle. I remember the first time ever Caesar put it on. 'Twas on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame the Nervi. Look, in this place ran Cassius' dagger through. See what a rent the envious Casca made. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stabbed. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, mark how the blood of Caesar followed it, as rushing out of doors, so to be resolved if Brutus so unkindly knocked or no. For Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's angel. Judge, oh you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most unkindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar did see him stab, ingratitude, more strong than traitors' arms, quite vanquished him. Oh, what a fall there was, my countrymen! And I, and you, and all of us fell down whilst bloody treason flourished over us! Oh, now you weep, and I do perceive you feel the dint of pity. These are gracious drops. Kind souls, what, you weep when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself, marred as you see with traitors!
Oh, piteous spectacle!
Oh, noble Caesar!
Oh, woeful day!
Traitors, villains!
Oh, most bloody sight!
We will be revenged!
Revenge!
About!
Traitor land!
Stay, my countrymen!
Hear the noble Antony!
We'll hear him! We'll follow him! We'll die with him!
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honorable men. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts and minds. I am no orator, as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that love my friend. That they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of him. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny.
Will mutiny! Will burn the house of Brutus!
Mutilated! Come, seek the conspirators!
Yet hear me, countrymen! Yet hear me speak!
Peace! Hear Antony, most noble Antony!
Why, friends, you go to do you know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not. I must tell you then. You have forgot the will I told you of.
Most true. The will.
Most true.
Here's the will, and under Caesar's seal. To every Roman citizen he gives, To every several man, 75 drachmas!
Most noble Caesar!
Oh,
Revenge
royal
is
Caesar!
death!
Take hear me with patience!
These foe!
Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private arbors and new planted orchards on this side Tiber. He hath left them you and to your heirs forever. Common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Never, never! Come, away, away! We'll burn the body in the holy place, and with the brands, fire the traitors' houses!
Go fetch fire!
Plug down benches!
Plug down benches! Plug down benches! Plug down benches!
Now let it work. Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt.
So, who was really right? Who wins the argument?
Well, nobody won the argument, but we do have a civil war near the end of the play.
Well, technically, Mark Antony won the crowd, which started the Civil War, and he ends up winning the war. Brutus ends up dying by falling on his own sword in a noble suicide, and then he's proclaimed as the most noble man in Rome.
I think we need more comedy in our stew.
Yes, please.
A good prank is always funny.
Is there a Shakespeare play with a prank in it?
Well, Shakespeare's had gender bending, mistaken identities, usually involving twins, fairies spreading love juice on people, getting chased by bears. Yeah, is there a good prank in there?
If you're looking for a good prank, you can look no further than Act 2, Scene 5 of Twelfth Night.
Oh, Mariah plays a great prank of Malvolio there.
Well, I do still want to know what happens to Malvolio.
Well, since Malvolio is a stick in the mud, he doesn't get along with characters like Mariah, Sir Toby Belch, Sir Andrew Aguecheek, or Fabian, and when he finally crashes one of their parties, they decide to play this prank on him in order to get revenge.
I call Sir Toby Belch.
Oh, dibs on Sir Andrew Aguecheek. Wait a minute. What is the meaning of Aguecheek?
Well, I think it means ague means like chill from a cold, and then cheek is face. So I think it's like pale face. And I'll play Fabian.
Ooh, there's a Mariah.
Well, you guys have fun. My energy is still in the coffin there with Caesar, so I'm gonna pause till it comes back to me.
Hang on. I played Mariah in the last 12th Night scene. So who will I be in this one?
You'll see.
Come that way, Senor Fabian!
Nay, I'll come. If I lose even a scruple of this sport, let me be boiled to death with melancholy.
Wouldst thou not be glad to have the miserly rascally sheep biter come by some notable shame?
I would exult, man. You know he brought me out of favor with my lady about a bear baiting here.
To anger him, we'll have the bear again, and we'll fool him black and blue, shall we not, Sir Andrew?
And we do not. It is pity of our lives.
Here comes the little villain. Oh, now, my medal of India.
He did go into the box tree. Malvolio was coming on his walk. He has spent a yawner in the sun practicing behavior to his own shadow this half hour. Observe him, for the love of mockery, for I know this letter make a tentative idiot of him. Close, the name jesting. Lie thou there, but here comes the trout that must be caught with tickling.
"'Tis but fortune. All is fortune. Mariah once told me she did affect me, and I have heard herself come thus near, that should she fancy, it should be one of my complexion. Besides, she uses me with a more exalted respect than anyone else that follows her. What should I think on it?"
Here's an overweening rogue.
Peace. Contemplation makes a red turkey cock of him. Look how he jets under his advanced plumes.
Light, I could so beat the rogue.
Peace, I say.
To be Count Malvolio.
Rogue.
Pistol him, pistol him.
Peace, peace.
There is example for it. The lady of the strait, she married the yeoman of the wardrobe.
Fire on him, Jezebel.
Oh, peace. Now he's deeply in. Look how imagination blows him.
Having been 3 months married to her, sitting in my state.
Oh, for a stone bone to hit him in the eye.
Calling my officers about me in my branched velvet gown, having come from a daybed where I left Olivia sleeping.
Fire and brimstone.
Oh, peace, peace.
And then to have the humor of the state, and after demure travel of regard, telling them I know my place, as I would they should do theirs, to ask for my kinsman Toby.
Bolts and shackles.
Oh, peace, peace, peace. Now.
7 of my people, with an obedient start, make out for him. I frown the while, and perchance wind up my watch, or play with some rich jewel. Toby approaches, curtsies there to me.
Shall this fellow live?
Though our silence be drawn to us with cars, yet peace.
I extend my hand to him thus, quenching my familiar smile with an austere regard of control.
And does not Toby take you a blow in the lips then?
Saying, Cousin Toby, my fortunes having cast me on your niece, give me this prerogative of speech.
What?
You must amend your drunkenness.
I'm scabbed!
Nay, patience. We'll break the sinews of our plot.
Besides, you waste the treasure of your time with a foolish knight.
That's me. I warrant you.
One Sir Andrew.
I knew 'twas I for many to call me a fool.
What employment have we here?
Now is the woodcock near the gin.
Oh, peace! A spirit of humor intimate reading aloud to him!
By my life, this is my lady's hand. This be her very C's, her U's, and her T's. And thus she makes her great P's. It is in contempt of question her hand.
Her C's, her U's, her T's? Why that?
To the unknown beloved, this and my good wishes, her very phrases. By your leave, wax, soft, in the impressure her Lucrece, with which she uses to seal, 'tis my lady. To whom should this be?
This winsome liver and all.
Jove knows I love, but who? Lips do not move, no man must know. No man must know? What follows? The number's altered. No man must know if this should be thee, Malvolio.
Marry, hang thee, Brock.
I may command where I adore, but silence like a Lucrece knife, with bloodless strokes my heart doth gore, MOAI doth sway my life.
A busted riddle.
Excellent wench, say I.
MOAI doth sway my life. Nay, but first let me see.
What dish of poison has she dressed in?
And with what ring to say no checks at it?
I may command where I adore. Why, she may command me. I serve her. She is my lady. This is evident to any formal capacity. There is no obstruction in this. And the end. What could that alphabetical position portend? If I could make that resemble something in me. Softly, MOAI. Why?
Oh, I make up that he's now on a cold sense.
Sounder will cry upon it for all this, though it be as rank as a fox.
M. Malvolio. M. Why, that begins my name.
Did I not say you would work it out? The cur is excellent at false.
M. But then there is no consonancy in the sequel that suffers under probation. A should follow, but O does.
And O should end, I hope.
Aye, or I'll cuddle him and make him cry, oh!
And then I comes behind.
And should you had an eye behind you, you might see more detraction at your heels than fortunes before you.
MOAI. The simulation is not as the former, and yet, to crush this a little, it would bow to me, for every one of those letters are in my name. Soft, here follows prose. This fall into thy hand, revolve. In my stars I am above thee, but be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Thy fates open their hands, let thy blood and spirit embrace them, and, to inure thyself to what thou art like to be, cast thy humble slough and appear fresh. Be opposite with a kinsman, surly with servants. Let thy tongue tang arguments of state. Put thyself into the trick of singularity. She thus advises thee that sighs for thee. Remember who commended thy yellow stockings and wished to see thee ever cross-gartered? I say, remember. Go to, thou art made if thou desirest to be so. If not, let me see thee a steward still, the fellow of servants and not worthy to touch fortune's fingers. Farewell, she that would alter services with thee, the fortunate, unhappy. Daylight and champion discovers not more. This is open. I will be proud. I will read politic authors. I will baffle Sir Toby. I will wash off gross acquaintance. I will be point devise the very man. I do not now fool myself to let imagination jade me, but every reason excites me to this, that my lady loves me. She did commend my yellow stockings of late. She did praise my leg being cross-gartered, and in this manifests herself to my love, and with a kind of injunction drives me to these habits of her liking. I thank my stars. I am happy. I will be strange, stout, in yellow stockings and cross-gartered, even with the swiftness of putting on. Jove and my stars be praised. Here is yet a postscript. Thou canst not choose but know who I am. If thou entertainst my love, let it appear in thy smiling. Thy smiles become thee well. Therefore in my presence still smile, dear my sweet, I prithee. Jove, I thank thee. I will smile. I will do everything that thou wilt have me. Mwah.
I would not give my part in this sport for a pension of thousands to be paid by the Sophie.
I could marry this wench for this device.
So could I too.
And ask with her, but no other dowry, but such another chest.
No, I neither.
Here comes thy noble gold catcher.
Wilt thou set thy foot on my neck?
Or on mine either.
Shall I play my freedom at trade ship and become thy bond slave?
If faith or I either.
Thou hast put him in such a dream that when the image of it leaves him, he must run mad.
Hey, to say true, does it work upon him?
Like Uncle Vitae with a midwife.
If you would then see the fruits of the sport, Marcus first approached me for my lady. He would come to her in yellow stockings, and 'tis a color she abhors, and cross-garters, a fashion she detests, and he would smile upon her, which would now be so unsuitable to her current disposition, being addicted to melancholy as she is, that it cannot but turn him into a notable contempt. If you will see it, follow me.
The the gate of Tartar, thou most excellent devil of wits!
I'll make one too.
That was a mean trick.
Yeah, you should see what happens next.
What happens next?
Well, Malvolio shows up in front of Olivia wearing the yellow stockings and the cross garters and smiling like a crazy person. And since Olivia isn't in on the joke, she thinks he's a crazy person and she throws him in a madhouse.
That's awful.
Comedy's cruel. Oh, don't worry. They let him out and he comes back in the end and swears revenge on the whole pack of them.
Well, does he get his revenge?
No. But all the couples get married.
Including Sir Toby and Mariah.
Yeah, they get married because of the prank.
All's well that ends well.
And speaking of endings,
We hope you enjoyed our tasty Shakespeare stew.
I'm Abby.
I'm Anna.
I'm Joe.
I'm Ian.
I'm Morgan.
I'm Truman, and we're
The Brady
Party Bunch. Thank you guys for supporting the CCC Theater Department. We really appreciate it. Keep supporting us, and maybe next time we'll bring ya a little Shakespeare pie. Good night.
Good night.
Parting is such sweet sorrow.
And if they missed it tonight,
Tell your friends.
You can see it tomorrow. Bye.
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 Hi, Jim Ikram again here. If you would like to donate to our theater program, please follow the link that you see appearing on your screen now. Once again, thanks for attending Shakespeare Stew, and we'll see you next time. Bye now.
Zoom meeting by Smarty Uesato. It's almost time to start my daily Zoom. My laptop opens, ready to embark. I sure hope they can't see my messy room. And suddenly, my bright blue screen goes dark. I scramble quickly, try to find my phone. It's over here. Slow down my racing heart. Will they be tardy? Am I not alone? A couple minutes late, but now I start. Hello? Hello? I hear the others say. Today I can't seem to unmute my mic. Though I am glad to see you here today. To speak to you is something I would like. Another wild day has just begun. Another day, another meeting. Done.
January by Grace Hoffman. The way I feel for you cannot be real. It's hard and fast and unlike any other. Connection fills my soul deep, and I feel I am dove flying away from mother. His eyes, pure emerald, sparkling so bright, I closed my eyes and hoped to not be blind. But his pure beauty beamed and shone its light, and I was all right with being confined. While soft breeze blows and willows weep tonight, I fear the inevitable sunrise. Laying beside you turned into daylight, and when we wake, I'll lose the highest high. Hold me closer as the night grows cold, and heat my heart as we only grow old. Thank you.
Cutlass Sierra by Daisy Cicito. Blushed cheeks, fogged windows, cruising through the streets, tired hands as we run through the moonlit grass. Middle of nowhere, slow dance, soft heartbeats, filled with euphoria, these nights my mass. We climbed the mountains and swam through the lakes. When days were dark, you always stayed with me. Hospital beds, steroids to numb my aches. You held my hand, your face I'll always see. The stars smile and beam when they see us. The moon glows bright, the wind excited to blow. When they hear our Cutlass Sierra buzz, the kind night sky observes as our souls grow. Only in fairy tales a true love's kiss, or so I thought, now life is pure bliss.